I gotta come in the bathroom because my wife is working, and we were talking this morning about psychology. My wife is going to school to study psychology, and it's interesting. This I have a couple of things to say. One is, if you know the history of psychology, you know that it was all battle. Like it's all the loudest person in the room who has the most ears, and that follows a lot with politics as well. And so when you think of isn't there a classroom, a classroom of like political science that deals directly with psychological influence and all that, and teaching you methods of how to influence based off conversation. So being perceptive is important in knowing how to respond and blend in and formulate groups and all that. Different groups is accretion, and the people who have the most accretion are most successful. For what some people say, my mom always used to say, it's not what you know, it's who you know. That is accretion. Something that I don't really have because I have antisocial personality disorders and behaviors that I don't like to typically tolerate people. But as I was talking to my wife today, I was like, maybe I should open my ears a little bit when I conversate to find what methods and ways of creating key factors here. And what I mean by that is I can say my opinion and I can say what I think and how I feel about psychology and what I feel about politics or whatever. And I noticed this. Psychology is safe to talk about. Politics is not. Politically, it is illogical to publicly speak about your political views. And I think there's a psychology in that goes along with the privacy of voting that's happening today, which is established from before, but it's more loud today. And that goes into political science specialists and stuff like that. Now, instead of saying just what I want to say about psychology, say, what do you think? What do you see? How do you perceive it? What are you hearing? And let them speak. But here's another thing that I want to do that I don't do. And that is I would like to record conversations and go back on them. Take journals with me and take notes. You know, make a camera, a tape recorder, and a journal is something that I'm very interested in. You know, I was once put in a situation where I was recorded talking about something a little hot topic, specifically gun laws, at a location that wouldn't have made sense. I was not aware of my political stance and the location and the psychology behind that. And so I was vulnerable. Now I am very aware of what's happening. And when you become like that, you notice things about people that stick out. And that makes for an interesting case study. But here's my thing is I don't take notes like I should. And I think if I do go to college, I'm going to go to college for psychology, barbering, and journal taking, like note taking. There has to be a note taking class somewhere that I can take that will help me organize like how structured I can become. And in that, I am guaranteed success because I have an ability to accrete people based on what I learn rather than just keep it closed circled. I'm very ethnically oriented towards everybody, and I'm very diverse when I have to be. And I can also be very isolated and objective to one topic in one group of people. And that makes me a very interesting person when given the chance to act that way. But here's the thing. You don't want to sound like an idiot. So don't jump into things you don't know. And like, I don't know specific terms in psychology. So I'm not going to go to a bunch of PhD psychologists and try to talk to them about what I do know. I'm going to go down a couple notches to a less intellectually not as refined as they are, a little more broad instead of acute and speak to them first, get their intake, and then take my notes and learn from that. I heard something yesterday that was talking about, in the sake of biology, and it's like biology is built on systems, and that's what came to mind when this person was struggling and speaking was he's using terms, but he's not understanding that there's more to it than that. It's like saying animal without saying phylum, class, species, and all that. Like he's saying biology without saying systems and behaviors and electricity and all the other things that are factored into biology, like in what specific branch of biology, really looking at it like a psychologist or a scientist would in the terms of English. And there's a saying that I have, and it's that English is not like math. You don't dumb it down. It's the opposite of math. You're not trying to simplify it. And so I would like to take a class on psychology, a class on barbering, and a class on note taking. And then I would like to find a way to accrete people. But I don't really know where to start. And that's fun. That's a fun thing, is because you don't really know where to begin, and so it's kind of exciting. And when you get like that, leave a comment and let me know what you think, and we'll go from there.